From September 1st to May 21st, I did over $500,000 on this one Shopify store. Today marks 2 years since I decided to drop out of college and become a full-time entrepreneur. And to this day, that is still the scariest decision that I've ever made. But what was even scarier than leaving college was the thought of waking up one day with regret, wondering what I could have been if I just tried. I just couldn't silence that voice in my head that kept telling me that I was meant for more. So that was the day that I stopped asking for permission and decided to bet on myself. Ever since I made that leap, I've made over $1.1 million across all of my different e-commerce stores. The biggest one that I've ever ran is this one right here that's done over $500,000 in revenue. And I had this one right here that did $300,000. I had this one that did $200,000, and I've had smaller ones like $50,000, $100,000. I don't come from a rich household and I'm not gifted or talented in anything specifically. But with a little bit of hard work, I've been able to solidify myself as a 7-figure entrepreneur in my early 20s. I tell you guys all of this not to flex, but just to show that it's possible for anyone. By no means was my journey easy at all, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I did to get where I'm at and how you can do the exact same. But first, I'm gonna tell you guys where it all started. Let's go. The University of North Texas, man, this is where it all started. I spent 2 years walking these paths and sitting in these classrooms. Like many people watching this, I was just a normal college student who just went to class and partied on the weekends. But I had this weird feeling that I just didn't belong here. I mean, I actually enjoyed college. I enjoyed being here. I had a lot of fun. But the thing is, I knew that if I didn't figure something out and lock in, I would end up in a 9-to-5 cubicle hating my life. Especially since I would open my phone and see kids my age on social media driving cars that I want to drive, living where they want to live, and living super free. So I knew I had to do something, and that's when it hit me. I was playing it too safe. I was only in this college classroom because it is what was socially acceptable, and I didn't want to look like a failure or less than for not coming to college. And the truth is, most people are living lives that they never chose. They were following a script that was written by their parents, teachers, and society. And barely anyone has ever took the time to sit down and ask themselves, what do I actually want? Everything changed for me when I asked myself that question, and it became very clear to me that what I wanted wasn't in a college classroom. So this brings me to the first lesson of the video. Make it clear in your mind the exact life that you want to live and don't take anyone else's opinion on it. Because at the end of the day, guys, no one should be able to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, because you're the only person that lives a life that you live, and no one else should have a say in it. So if you like the fast cars, if you like the freedom, if you don't want to work in a cubicle, don't let anyone tell you that that's where you should be, because at the end of the day, this is your life and you do what you want. Now, for the ones that think that I didn't give corporate a chance, I definitely did. There's a reason that I know that I can't be in a cubicle. That's because behind me is the exact place that I worked for as an intern. Now guys, I gotta tell you guys a story about when I worked here. I worked so hard to get this job, you guys don't understand. I was in college, and with my major, I figured out how to become an intern here because this was the only place that paid me pretty good as an intern. But here's the thing, guys. I was so blessed to have gotten this job, but when I got the job, I showed up for one single day and I realized I could never do this. I was stuck inside of a cubicle filing paperwork, guys. When I tell you guys, the moment that I walked in and I saw the path that I was going down, I knew that I had to lock in. When I tell you guys, I literally said I cannot do this, and I quit, and I never showed up again, and I promised myself that single day that I would make entrepreneurship work. Every real entrepreneur has a breaking point. Whether it's they work a trash job, they get heartbroken, or something bad happens to them, everyone has that one moment where they're like, I'm going all in on entrepreneurship, and you need to figure out what that moment for you is. For me, it was working in here. I was like, nah, this is not gonna be my life. So I figured it out. And that brings me to the next lesson. And that's that the moment that you put your back against the wall is the moment that everything will figure out. Because guys, I didn't have money. I didn't even have a job. This was my job. This was my hope. But I literally said, no, I don't care about that. I don't care about the $20 an hour. I don't care. I want to make entrepreneurship work. I put my back against the wall and I had no other choice. Like, you guys got to have balls. Like, when I tell you guys, don't be scared to just go all in, because that's what it takes to be successful in this world. Because you got to think about the life that you want and then the alternative of the life that you want. What is the alternative? Is it being broke, fighting paycheck to paycheck, having to show up to work, getting yelled at by your boss when you're late? Like, is that a life you want to live? Honestly, guys, don't be scared to put your back against the wall, because if you don't make it work, then what kind of life are you gonna live? All right, y'all, now we're in my childhood home. This is the place that I was born in, and I lived here until I was 18, until I moved away from college. I even have the original MacBook that I started my e-com journey with. And as you guys can see, this is low-key where it all started. I have Noah's workplace. This is my desk. This is where it started. And I brought y'all here to teach you guys the most important lesson of this video, and that is the need to have a strong why. The thing that's gonna guarantee your success is having a strong reason as to why you're doing it. Because I promise you guys, the cars, the money, the houses, that's all cool, but you have to have something deeper than that. Are you doing this to prove something to yourself? Are you doing this to prove something to someone else? Are you doing this to help your family? Why are you trying to be successful? I'm telling you guys, if you dig deep down and find out what your why is, your success is only a matter of time. And I'm gonna tell you guys about my why. My why had to do with my family. And the reason for that is because I grew up under older parents. My dad had me when he was 48. So I knew by the time I was like 18 years old, he was already in his late 60s. My why was I wanted my dad to see me succeed because he invested so much time and he was a really, really good father to me. And I knew that he was getting old, I knew he was getting sick, and I knew that I only had a limited amount of time to make something work and become successful for him to know, for him to be proud of me. So I'm not gonna lie, my why just had to do with making my parents proud. I had a very, very deep connection with my parents and I really wanted to show them that. This ties back into a couple lessons back, and that is to know what you want, because I knew that I wanted to be successful so my dad can see me before he passed away. I know you guys see the Shopify store, the car, the crib, the jewelry, but that's not my real success. The real success that I had in my life is making my father proud. So I've never really opened up about this publicly, but just last month, my father did pass away. This is him in his urn. That's a picture of him right there. This is also a picture of him. And like I was saying earlier about my why, my biggest why was to make my father proud. And besides the cars, besides the jewelry, besides the crib, besides the revenue screenshots, the thing that I'm most proud of and I feel the most success in was that he was able to see all of that before he left this earth. So I promise you guys, whenever you guys find your deeper why and you find success within that, that is gonna feel so much better than any of the materialistic things you can purchase. So with that being said, I made this part of the video as a small tribute to my dad. I know he's up there looking down on me and he's very proud of me and he's continuing to watch over me throughout my journey. So with that being said, long live Dad. So that was just part of my why. My other why is right here, my beautiful mother.
Hello.
Hey, say hi to the camera in the video.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm just gonna ask her a few questions because, you know, there's a few things that need to be laid out on the table. So let's just get into a small little interview. So the first question I have for you, Mama, is, are you proud of me?
Very proud. Very, very proud. We're so proud of Noah. He's always been a dreamer, a go-getter. And once he puts his mind on something, he will try to accomplish it.
Success. All right. And the next question I have for you is, how did you feel when I told you I was dropping out of college?
Oh, I wasn't easy.
Really quick. When I dropped out of college, I still wasn't making money. That's part of the context.
I mean, any parent, I guess, would feel uneasy about a sudden change of plans after you've planned it out like for a long time, you know?
I didn't really want to be in college. She thought I did, but it was never in my plan. They asked you what my dream job was. My dream was to never have a job.
Yeah, it's totally different generation and different culture for me. I didn't, live in this country or grow up in this country at all. And back where I came from in the Philippines, for us, education is kind of top priority. And so I thought I could tell my kids that's their priority too, but I guess not. So yeah, I learned my lesson. You have to think about what your child wants to do and not what you want for them to be.
I just turned 22, guys. This is when I'm supposed to be graduating. Now, she could either take my graduation as a success, or she can take, the Shopify revenue that I have. Which one would you rather have?
But at this point, success is up to you. It's how you gauge it. It's not for me to tell you. I think any kind of happiness that you feel, for me, that's my success, my measure of success. Anytime you're not in trouble, that's success to me. Anytime I see you at the end of the week, a success for me. And that I don't hear any bad news about your health, about anything. For me, that's success. So it's an ongoing thing.
Perfect. Thank you, Mama. Thanks for the interview.
Sure.
Love you.
I love you.
All right, y'all, we're back at the crib now, and I did just want to sit down with you guys really quickly and talk about your life. I want you guys to know that the reason that I made this video is because I believe that every single person watching this has some deeper potential in them that just need to be let out. And I made this video to let that out because I believe that if you take the 3 lessons that I taught in this video, such as stop being scared to chase what you want, putting your back against the wall and getting rid of plan B, and finding your why, that you will release the full potential that you have. Because guys, recently I noticed all of my old friends from college were graduating, and this had me thinking to myself, What was I doing for the past 2 years? And then that made me sit down and just really think about my journey and the choices that I've made within my life. And I promise you guys, I could not have been more proud about the choice that I made 2 years ago when I decided to leave college. Because I'm supposed to be graduating right now with all of my friends. And it hit me really deep when I realized that if I decided to play it safe back then, that today my dad would have never saw me graduated because he passed away before the graduation date was even supposed to happen. But since I made the choice to take it a leap and start a business, not only did my dad get to see me be successful, but I also took care of him before he left. And I would never trade those choices for anything. So if you feel like you're not living up to your full potential yet and you want to get going, I have one thing to tell you. Get started today. Because no one is going to come and save you and carry you to your full potential. You have to get to it. And every single day that you wait is another day that you delay your accomplishments. So my advice to you is to figure out, what do you need to do in order to reach your dream? Obviously, guys, does it involve money? Do you need money for it? Do you need connections? What is it? If you need money to reach your dream, there's obviously a million different ways to make money. And the point is, you guys need to pick one of these ways and just go all in on it. And just to let you guys know what I did, the path that I took was branded e-commerce. Now, I'm not saying branded e-commerce is the way for you, but for me it was. And the reason that I'm successful in branded e-commerce is because I chose this one business model and I stuck to it until it worked. I didn't switch around from real estate to clipping to freelance brand scaling or starting an agency. I didn't do any of that stuff. I picked one and I stayed to it. But if you guys are interested in what I do and how I make my money, then I did actually make a free YouTube video course for anyone who's interested in branded e-commerce. In this video, I tell you guys what branded e-commerce is for the ones who don't know, and I give you your first actionable steps to make your first 10 to 20K with your own e-commerce business. So if that's something that piques your interest, then go ahead and click the link in the description, because branded e-commerce might be the business for you. So with that being said, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video and that every single person watching this reaches their full potential. So subscribe if you guys want to see more videos, and I'll see y'all in the next one.